Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode on 539. So, as you might notice, things are a little bit different, and that's because we lost all the audio on this particular episode, and I'll let you hear it for yourself real quick what the audio actually sounds like. But first, this is the grave of Myrtle Enyart, 1876 to 1922. And here's what the episode sounded like after several hours of travel and a lot of effort into putting out an episode on time. And so as we can see here, this particular memorial has been moved quite a bit and is kind of teetering on the edge of the base stone. It's kind of strange in such a well cared for place that something like that happens. Obviously there's going to have to be some repair work that gets done eventually on places like this. Not really sure the backstory of it, but you can see it's Herbert G. Goff, 1918 to 1919, so maybe it looks like it got moved maybe during like a period of heavy rain or something like that, that it slowly kind of scooted it over. I'm not really sure. Let me know in the comments what you think. So you can start to see the mausoleum coming up here. And we're stopping here at the Memorial Lorenzo A. Birch, 1875 to 1920, and Ellen, 1876 to 19 blank. Noticing a lot of those recently, as you've seen on the channel. Quite a few of them, obviously. There's more than a few graveyards and cemeteries in the area, so not very abnormal to come up on. And Matilda Pro, looks like 1888 to 1931. Sorry, this is a new experience for me too, so I'm hoping the audio turns out okay here. And a modern day little piece of I'm not really sure what it's made of, probably cement, and meant to go in like a garden from like a little garden center, probably bought locally and placed there in front. Might be by a modern day family even, possibly. So these are just a couple. I'm not sure if this is even the same family as what the mausoleum is. Some very interesting names though. Verlin and Alfred rather. And you can see pretty clearly some stuff through the glass there, some decorations. The glass is obviously brand new. It looks like the bars are brand new as well. It's a form of security glass that's supposed to prevent people from breaking through it and entering the inside. So it looks like maybe in the past they've had some issues in this area with some people breaking the glass. I don't know if there's been an attempt to enter or not. And the Yeager family here, Clinton 1851 to 1921, and Clara 1858 to 1942. So a lot more interesting, I admit, with the audio from the outside. And I'm mentioning here that the certain dates seem like they've been cleaned. Actually, you can see they're a little bit whiter than the rest of the stone there. So looks like somebody's been maybe wiping it down with something. But yeah, the nature sounds make the video a lot more interesting. And A.L. Obichain, or Obinchain, 1915, and we can see a stone door here, and actually a stone door and not just made to look like a door. It actually does still have functioning hinges, which is what I'm mentioning here. So I'm not sure if they're original I'm sure it probably was an option back in the day, but yeah, most of the time we see some form of gate or door with glass on it. And some vents there at the top on the side. But unfortunately, no interior view of this particular structure. So, it's what we'd like to see, but it is nice that it is being actively protected. So, there's that. What appears to be a more modern stone here. Almost appears to maybe be a quartz. It might be granite, though. I'm not really positive. Okay, so we're going to head over here to the Banks family section, and quite a large, to an extent, main family name memorial, I guess you'd call it. And then a few individual markers here to the side. And a wall that's, well, not really a wall, but a border that's in a decent condition, but in some amount of disrepair over the years. So, kind of a hard stone to read here. You see 1887, 87, excuse me, to 1888. And then it looks like 53 to 1891 there. Again, some of these are just so hard. It looks like they've been rubbed bare. And again, that is what I'm commenting on here, that it looks like the names have been rubbed off, but the years have been left behind for some reason. So I'm not really positive on that, what exactly is going on. So, and all of the stones seem to be exactly the same. I don't know if it's that something has been over the years brushing up against it over and over, or what exactly is causing the problem. But it seems to be across all the stones. So I mean, I guess it could be that like a weed whacker or something is hitting it, but I don't know, very, very strange. But yeah, let me know what you think on this one. Interested to see your comments on it. But regardless, very unfortunate, and hopefully there's something yet that's able to be done, whether it's putting up a brand new set of stones that are re-engraved or something like that. I don't know. And these, you see Susan Clapp right there. They don't seem to have any year on that particular memorial. And obviously kind of hard to interpret. To be honest, I'm not sure if I was able to get the name on that when I was there. You do see a date on this one, though. Looks like maybe 1877. See, 76 years and 23 days. Looks like 4 months, I believe. I do apologize again. It'll only be like this for 2 episodes, and then we'll be back to normal audio that you can actually hear what's going on outside, besides just my voice and probably the low hum of the AC behind me. But yeah, you can see the writing is a bit sideways on this one. Looks like it's just an artistic choice, really, more than anything. And does that say Royal? Or Roy? Okay. I'm having to remember everything. I'm having to remember everything. And not every moment of this is clear, as it was like 95 degrees and like probably above 95% humidity. It was just terrible. But the roofing on this is really neat. Looks like an aged copper. Not sure if it would have been built that way or if it would have originally had kind of a more coppery color to it, and then just turned green over the years. But either way, it looks really cool. Yeah, there we go again. Just a little hint of what we're dealing with again, just in case you forgot. Another interesting looking stone here. Looks like a Schuler family stone there. And it looks like Nancy Schuler, 1897, aged 88 years on the front here. And then on the other side, it looks like we have Josiah here. 1898, aged 72 years. And then on the back, it looks like it says father and mother. So clearly a stone that's probably erected by the children. Or I guess I should say paid for. It's probably unlikely that they did the work themselves. But I think you get the point. So, lots of wear and tear on the individual markers at the bottom here. Maybe similar and related in nature to the previous stone where we've seen some of the names getting rubbed off. Again, not really positive. I mean, it could be an act of vandalism, but I mean, it seems odd that somebody, had some vendetta against the family all these years later. I'm not really sure. And it seems kind of an odd bit of vandalism to do if you were only doing it specifically for attention. So, not really sure on that one either. So, and then here we are coming up the road. This is the road I came in on. A very narrow passage here. The video doesn't even really do it justice, but I think you can kind of tell that driving through that would be a little bit difficult and make you nervous. And we can see some graves here right at the edge. I do believe this was like a pathway more intended for wagons and foot traffic back in the day. I think you can kind of tell it wasn't really intended for modern day cars. And the Bunch family here, James and Elizabeth. James, 1857 and 1923. No, 1899, excuse me. I can barely see what I'm looking at. And then we also have Elizabeth, 1853 to 1933. So, yeah, this will be an interesting one. So I have no idea what I'm talking about. And, yeah, if this continues on for much longer, I'm going to have to just cut it out. But at any rate, if you're enjoying this episode, or maybe not as much as the rest of the episodes, but consider hitting that subscribe button and sharing the video. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed. And yeah, not all videos have audio that is this entirely messed up, and this is pretty much the first time I've ever done this, actually. So we're going to continue down this row here for a little bit, and then we'll head down the hill and check out some of the mausoleums. But I wanted to check out this because of the interesting little setup they have going with the sort of copper pedestal holding up this granite stone at an interesting angle. And yeah, I don't know, there's just something about it that I haven't I've seen similar things as you probably know from watching the channel if you've been watching for more than a few years. But just incredibly interesting looking. I just had to check it out. But Christian Henry, 1826 to 1905, and Margaret, 1831 to 1882 here. And then it looks like a missing piece here of some sort, or it's upside down, probably a base stone though. And then you see Peter Ginder here, 1841 to 1923. And another Ginder here, Elizabeth, 1843 to 1931. So, yeah, quite the amazing place. I'm actually assuming that maybe the town in modern day is smaller. This town of South Whitley is really a pretty small town these days. I don't really know, based on just how many memorials are here. I'm not really sure if it's grown or maybe shrunk over the years, but either is possible. Sheriff Shibley here, about a 12-foot tall memorial there. Looks like 1876, aged 43. And another, I think, Shibley down the way here with a similar sized memorial. You can see his multiple family members here. Samuel here, looks like 1876. Kind of difficult to read there in person too. You can see I'm messing around with the flashlight to kind of get a clear read on it. So kind of difficult sometimes, even on the stuff that doesn't have a lot of decay or damage or lichen growth or whatever on it. Still can be somewhat difficult trying to actually interpret what some of this says. Flora Mitten, 1858 to 1930. That one's very clear. And then a bit of destruction here. So, yeah. And about to move down the street here just a little ways and check out this other tall memorial here in a second. I do believe that's what we're about to do. And yeah, so this is an interesting location. I've actually showed up at it several times to film now, and the first time I got here way too late and was unable to film, and came all the way back and had audio issues. So several days worth of effort out the door. So Bernice Ryan, 1892, aged 1 month and 26 days. And then Matilda next to it. And just commenting on the back side of that wall there. And here we are approaching our mausoleum. The J.C. Henry Mausoleum, and a very clear Masonic symbol there at the top. And looks like several urns with some fabric draped over them, as we see pretty often. Not just on mausoleums either. Often at the top of certain memorials, there'll be... Oh, something happened. Oh, that's what it was. It was the end of the episode. Alright, well, stay tuned for part 2. It is pretty interesting. We're going to see another mausoleum here coming up. And yeah, sorry about the audio issues, and I'll see you all in the next adventure.